Hello everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my class biology lessons with me, Mr. Amirunnas. I'm biology teacher in Fatih Bilingual School. So, for today's lesson, let me sharing something to you. This is about biotechnology. Let's take a look several fermented food here. So, I mentioned the soy sauce, and then the yogurt, bread, and then cheese, as well as the tempeh. This is originally food from Indonesia, and then the last one is the fermented rice. So basically we can find it in our daily life, we consume it. So this is what we call it fermented food, or this is using biotechnology term. So I have some questions, but I mentioned here one question. Is it true or false? If we eat a lot of fermented foods, or we eat things like daily fermented food, is that beneficial for us, or is that healthy or not? So the answer is actually yes, this is true. So if we consume the food such as fermented food, that means we adding several probiotics to our overall digestive system. So it helps our digestive system to work better, and then it really beneficial for us, and then make us healthy, and it protect us, as well as it increase our immune system. So let me tell you what is the definitions of biotechnology. So basically biotechnology is two words, and then we combine it into one word. It's bio and technology. So basically bio is related with living things, all living things, and then the technology related with the tools. So if we use living things, parts or whole parts of living things as a tool to produce the product, that is what humans desires. It could be the foods like I mentioned before, or it could be another thing such as the medicines, right? So this is what we call it biotechnology. So let me show you several examples here about biotechnology. The first one I mentioned is about penicillin. So penicillin is the first antibiotics, and this is a first antibiotic found long times ago, and then this is antibiotics produced by the fungi. So the fungi is penicillium, so that's why the antibiotic, the substance the fungi produce, we call it the penicillin. So the penicillin, this is can against or kills the bacteria, but this is not, they cannot kill the tissues of human body. So that means if we get the disease caused by the bacteria, and then if we apply these antibiotics, that means it can kill the bacteria, but it doesn't harm our tissues. So, and then next one, if we're wearing the clothes, after that there are a lot of the dirt. So to make it easy when we're washing the clothes, we use the powder, right? The powders, detergents, I mean here. So there are biological washing powder as well to make humans wash the clothes or the things easily, because there are enzyme in it. So that's it make works faster. And then another example as well, when we drink the juice, we need like fresh juice, and then we need to taste it better. So there are the enzymes called pectinase. So this is the enzymes, it can break down polysaccharides in the fruit. So that means if we make it as a juice, so the juice must be taste better. And then the yeast, this is really important substance. This is really important. This is actually the fungi. So when we make the bread, so we make the dough, we're adding the yeast, we're adding the sugars as the food for the yeast, and after that, after they do chemical reaction there, it produces the bubbles, it produces carbon dioxide, but carbon dioxide will stuck because there are gluten when we use the flours for the bread. So that means it can create fluffy bread. So that means when it need fermented food, it need the fermentation process. Once it produce the fluffy form, so that means the bread tastes better. And then the last one in here is what we call it genetic engineering. So basically, inside the bacteria, this is what we call the plasmid in it, and then another specific genes in another living things, it relate or give to produce special enzymes as well. So how can we combine them? This is what, and then if we combine them, and then we can produce something that is what human desires. And then this is what we call the genetic engineering. For example, here, this is what we recombinant deoxyribonucleic acid. So you can see here, like this plasmid, and then we can cut them into two parts, and then another gene for specific genes to produce specific enzymes as well, and then we combine them together, and then we add to the bacteria, and after that, so the results we can produce something what is a human desires, or to for example here, the productions of insect resistant cartoons. So after that, before that, the cartoons is really it can be easily attacked by the insect. After that, it makes the cartoon plant resistant to the insect. So that means it's useful for the plants, and it's really beneficial for us, for humans, to produce something. This is what we desire. So that's all for today's lesson about review about biotechnology. Thank you for your attention, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.